Hi guys, I'm K. Harshit. Today I'm going to start with the concept in geography, that is the chapter is manufacturing industries. Okay, it's a lesson of class 10 geography. By the name itself saying a manufacturing industry, the name itself says manufacturing industry. It's an industry, means it's a place where we are manufacturing goods. What is the meaning of manufacturing? What is the meaning of manufacturing? Let me give an example. I have a wooden log with me. I have a wooden log with me. And then the wooden log, the material made up of wooden log, let me say a paper. There is a paper and a wooden log. And I show to all the people in my house. I ask pick the valuable one. All of them will pick the paper. No one will pick the log, because paper is more valuable than the log. But the reality is this paper is made from this log, means this log is important than paper, but the value is given to the paper rather than the log, which means that the log is manufactured and produced as a paper. So manufacturing is nothing but we are processing a good or an object and making or increasing the value of the product. The log, the wooden log is there. We have manufactured it in an industry, in a paper industry. The wooden logs are converted into papers, and that paper which we have got is more valuable than the wooden log. Yes. So manufacturing is nothing but processing of the wood or an object to increase the value of it. So in manufacturing we are increasing the value. Similarly, the wooden logs, and then your furnitures which we get, the furniture which we get, or let me say the sofa sets we get, or the carpentry work which we do for our house, and the sticks that we get for our constructions, these all are made from wood logs, but the value is given to the products that we are getting out of the wooden log. So manufacturing is nothing but, I hope you have understood the definition. I'm again repeating it: the processing of a substance or a good or a product to increase the value of it. And the place at where this manufacturing is done is called a manufacturing industry. Now this manufacturing industry falls into the secondary sector. Okay, so and then this manufacturing industry is very crucial. These industries, not only manufacturing industry, all the industries play a very crucial role for the development of a country. We will discuss all of these topics in detail as we go through the lesson. For now, we have seen what is the definition of manufacturing industry, then what is the place where manufacturing is done, and then which sector it falls into. Now let us look into the importance of manufacturing industries. So let us see the importance of manufacturing industries. What is the importance that a manufacturing industry is having? Let us have a look. First importance is it modernizes agriculture. It modernizes agriculture. What do you mean by it modernizes agriculture? It produces development in agriculture. Now due to these manufacturing industries only, we are able to get tractors, machines, then your pesticides and rodenticides, the insecticides we are getting, and then even the mills which are there, the rice mill, cotton mill, sugar mill, all the mills, these all are in the presence of them only agricultural sector is able to flourish. If there is no mill, then there would be there wouldn't be any processing for the rice paddy. There is no processing done for paddy. And then if there is no cotton industry, then there will be no garments of cotton. Sugar industry, there will be no sugar, only we will be having sugar canes, cotton bolls. That's all. The processing is done, and then we are getting the finished goods. But if there are no industries only, then cotton balls only would be there, and how we would be wearing a cotton ball? And how would we, if you wanted sugar in a coffee or in a tea, how will we would be adding sugar cane into the coffee or a cup? No, we cannot add a sugar cane, right? So sugar cane is processed and we are getting sugar. If there are no industries, then we would be having the sugar, because sugar we get from sugar cane. First, it modernizes agriculture. It is providing development in agriculture. Yes, agriculture today is developed due to manufacturing industries. Now in USA, if you see, there are so many manufacturing industries. So there is so much of development seen in agriculture. There will be, there aren't any cases where the farmer has loss. Compared to India, US is a developed country. India में we are having, yes, we are having development, we are having industries, they are having mills. But when we compare with African countries, we are developed. In African countries, they are not having much industries. Okay, so without industries, manufacturing industries, agriculture cannot flourish. This is the first point. And industries work with labor. Labor is most crucial for any of the sectors, the three sectors: primary, secondary, tertiary. So in the manufacturing industries, we are getting the good. Who are manufacturing it? Who are processing it? The people are processing it. The labor are processing it. Although we are using machines, but still we require labor. We require manpower. So we are creating employment opportunities. Industries, by development of industries, there is more development, or there is more employment created in the country. When there is more employment created in the country, there will be no poverty, eradication of poverty. Eradication of poverty means there will be no poverty, because as people are employed, there will be any poverty. Poverty means what? People die or people suffer with no money. But as there is employment created, they will be getting salaries, so there wouldn't be any poverty in our country or in the world when there is development in manufacturing industries. And then it expands trade and commerce. Trade and commerce is expanded. How the produced goods, whatever we are getting, we aren't using only for our country. We are sending them, we are exporting them to other countries. Like the cotton garment produced here is being exported to various countries. The jute products produced here are exported to various countries. Other kind of products that we get in our country, they are not only used by India. They are also exported to all the different countries. We may not export to directly to USA, such a developed country, because it doesn't need such so many exports. But we may export to the African countries, and even we are exporting some of the things to US also. And even we are receiving some things from all the countries. They are importing some things or some goods from all the countries. So manufacturing industry, it expands the trade and commerce. This is the fourth point. So these are the four importance that manufacturing industry is having. Where we have more manufacturing industries, automatically there is more amount of development seen. Where there are more amount of manufacturing industries in a country, there is more development and there is more prosperity in that country. We can see that directly basing on these factors, because if there are more manufacturing industries, there is a modern agriculture, then there is a good employment, then there is no poverty, and then there is an expansion in trade and commerce. So these are the few importance that we have for manufacturing industries. Now, what now? Let us now check with the agriculture and industries move hand in hand. How are we able to say that agriculture and industries move hand in hand? Hand in hand means what? When agriculture is depending on industries, industries are depending on agriculture. We are just trying to say agriculture is depending on industries. Industries are depending on agriculture. Now first let us discuss about agriculture industry. Here industries, we are mainly focusing on agro based industries. Agriculture is based on or is depending on agro based industries. So agro based industries means the industries or the mills which receive the agricultural products. Now if we see the raw cotton will be received by the cotton mills, and then they would be processing it. So agriculture is depending, the agricultural farmer, let me say there is a cotton farmer, he is depending on this cotton mill. If he doesn't, if we are not having cotton mills, then there wouldn't be any copper a cotton farmer who grows cotton. So that cotton farmer he is depending on this cotton mill, and this cotton mill worker whoever is there, he is depending on this cotton farmer. If he is not available, the cotton farmer, he wouldn't be able to survive, or if he is not available, he couldn't be survive. This is clear, right? Means these both are interconnected to each other. When there is agricultural products are there and they are to be received, the industries receive them, and the finished goods or the fertilizers, pesticides, machines, these all are made in an industries. These all are used by agriculture. So agriculture is depending on all these products such as pesticides, insecticides, fertilizers, then your machines. Agriculture is depending on these industries, and then industries for the raw material of agriculture, industries are depending on agricultural sector. So we have even got an example about the cotton mill worker and the cotton farmer. So we got to know that industries and agriculture are interconnected, or they go hand in hand, or they help each other mutually. Okay, now we have seen what is manufacturing industry, what are the importance of manufacturing industry, and then how agriculture is depending on manufacturing industries, and how manufacturing industries are depending on agriculture. Let us now see how are these industries, manufacturing industries, contributing to the national economy. To the national economy. What do you mean by national economy? National economy means here we are seeing how is it financially supporting or helping India. How is it financially helping India? Out now, manufacturing industries, they give or they share 17% to GDP. They share 17%. They share the 17% to GDP, or the total industry 17% is shared to GDP by manufacturing industries. Then next, there is 7% of growth seen in industries per year or per annum, you can say. 7% of growth every year. There is 7% of growth seen in manufacturing industries. The target is to achieve 12%. This is just an extra note. 12% of target it wanted to achieve. The manufacturing industries India, it wanted to achieve a growth of 12% per annum. But now at present it is 7% per annum. Next, coming to since 2003. Since 2003, there is 9 to 10%, 9% to 10% growth rate. 9 to 10% growth rate seen in industries. Since 2003, from the year 2003, after 2003, 9 to 10% of the growth rate is seen. Means there is an increase of the growth rate of to 9 to 10%. So industries are helping for the development of the country, and it is also contributing to the national economy by sharing 17% to GDP. 7% of the growth is seen per year, and then since 2003, 9 to 10% of the growth rate is also seen in the industries. Now we have seen that it is having a target to achieve 12%. Who is trying to do this? who is trying to achieve, there is one organization who is trying to achieve this. NMCC, that is Natural Manufacturing Competitiveness Council. What is that? National Manufacturing Competitiveness Council. NMCC. This is an organization which is set up with an objective of increasing the industrial productivity, to increase the industrial productivity by getting appropriate policies. With appropriate policies, they wanted to increase the productivity of manufacturing industries. So to increase the productivity of manufacturing industries, NMCC, National Manufacturing Competitiveness Council, was set up with an objective to increase the industrial products, or increase the industrial productivity. Yes, so I hope you have understood what manufacturing industries were, then how is their contribution seen, then about NMCCs. This NMCC is an important question which can be asked. Now let us see the factors influencing manufacturing industries. Factors that are responsible for setting up any manufacturing industry. When now let me say I am a factors influencing location of manufacturing industries. What are the factors, different factors that are responsible for the location of a manufacturing industry? Now I am an industry owner. Okay, I am an industrial owner and I wanted to set up an industry. What all availabilities or facilities would I go for or check for to establish an industry? Now I wanted to establish an industry in Hyderabad. Where I am having plenty amount of people, the citizens are more, skilled and unskilled labor are more in Hyderabad. So I can establish an industry here with the help of manpower. Okay, skilled labor and unskilled labor, I can establish an industry, or let me say a software industry I can establish. The big companies like the iron ore company, the iron ore manufacturing company, or aluminium smelting company, a cotton mill worker, or a cotton mill, or a textile industry, a jute industry, or a sugar industry, what all factors would they check to establish their factories? The first factor is cheap raw material. Availability of cheap raw material. Why cheap? Because always an industrialist's idea would be to gain profit. Now if I am trying to open an industry, I would try to gain profit rather than going for an area where there is no availability of any raw material, there are no availability of any labor. If I go there and establish, I would be falling into a loss. I don't want it to fall in a loss, and no one will be happy falling in a loss, right? So the first factor that is important for locating a manufacturing industry is availability of cheap raw material. Where you are getting cheap raw material, there we are setting an industry. I am setting an industry. In the area of Jamshedpur, we get plenty amount of cheap iron ore. So there the factory is set up. In Maharashtra, plenty amount of cotton is going because there is the availability of black soil there. So cotton mill and textile industries are more in that area. This is the first point. Next, coming to availability of cheap labor. Availability of cheap labor. Now I don't wanted to spend so much of amount on labor. I wanted so much of labor, but the cost of the labor should be low. I can't pay for each 10,000, right? I can't pay like that. I wanted a area where there is more demand for cheap labor. In the area of Jamshedpur again there is free availability of raw material, and Jamshedpur is in Jharkhand area. So it is near to Odisha, Chhattisgarh and these areas. So we get more employment from these areas. The skilled and unskilled laborers are more, and there is cheap labor available from these states, the neighboring states, that is from Odisha, Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh. So there the industry is having cheap labor facility. Then the third point would be nearness to market. Nearness to market. Now I have an industry which is exporting its products. So for exporting, I need a water facility, so a port. I would set up an industry near to the port, like in Visakhapatnam. But I will not place an industry which is heavy, bulky, and it should be exported. It can be exported easily only through waterways. I can't set up it in Hyderabad, and I can't make it transport from Hyderabad to Visakhapatnam, because there is so much amount of transshipment. Yes, transport charges are more. The driver will ask, then the charges for the driver, charges for the petrol, then the toll gates which are there in between. I would be in the loss. What I will do when I wanted to place, or when I wanted to locate an industry, I will check where am I getting a good place which is near to the market. Now, if I am setting up industry near the Visakhapatnam, I would be charged less amount in according to the transport facilities, because it's near to the seaport. Visakhapatnam is near to the seaport, so there wouldn't be any transport fee for it. But rather, if I am putting it here, then I need to be transported. It should be transported from here to Visakhapatnam, and then from there to the other countries. So transshipment charges more. So I would be checking even the nearness to the market. Jamshedpur, again let us take the case. It is near to the biggest market, Kolkata. Kolkata is a very developed metropolitan city. So it is near to Kolkata. So all its raw materials can be deposited at Kolkata. Kolkata is a very good it's even a seaport. Haldia seaport is there. So from that port, it is exporting to other countries like Maldives, Myanmar. Yes. So the third factor that I would be checking is for nearness to market. Yes. Then I would be checking the fourth one is power supply. How is the power supply? And then I would even be checking for the capital investment. What do you mean by power supply? The electricity, whatever we are doing. Now I wanted to set up an industry near an area where I am having continuous electrical energy flow. Means there is no power cut. Frequent power cuts are not there. I will choose an area where I am having continuous power supply. Okay, this 1 lakh is there in the Jamshedpur. Okay, there is erratic power supply. There is no sufficient power supply there. Okay, but it has got the main three factors, so it has established. But there is no proper power supply. Then capital investment. How much amount of money am I having? How much amount am I capable of to spend and put a manufacturing industry? First, I would be checking how much money I am having. Then I would be starting an industry. Yes. So these are the factors which an industrialist would check to establish an industry. That is, cheap raw material, cheap labor, nearest to the market, power supply, and capital investment. I hope you have understood the concepts. We have started with what is this one, manufacturing industries, then the importance, contribution, then the factors influencing the location, and manufacturing industries, agriculture go hand in hand. So in our next video we will continue from the place where we have stopped. I hope you have understood the concepts. Thank you.